Hello guys, and welcome to this new Tableau tutorial. In this video, we'll create the following interactive dashboard about customer personality analysis. Customer personality analysis is mainly about collecting information from customers by business in order to modify its products based on its target customers. It is based on what we call in marketing the 4 P's, which are product, place, price, and promotion. As you can see, we'll create the different charts like horizontal bar chart, donut charts, histograms, bar charts, and density charts based on data that we have in our dataset. We'll also add 2 highlighters, which are marital status and education, which will allow us to analyze deeply our dashboard. For marital status, we can change the different categories, right? As you can see here. And same thing for education. So we have 2 charts that depend on education highlight. But before start working with Tableau, let's first explore our dataset. So you can find the link to this dataset in the description. And as you can see here about the dataset, so we have customer personality analysis is a detailed analysis of a company's ideal customers, right? It helps a business to better understand its customers, and it makes it easier for them to modify products according to specific needs, behaviors, and concerns of different types of customers. So here we have an example. Instead of spending money to market new product to every customer in the company's database, a company can analyze which customer segment is most likely to buy the product and then market the product only on that particular segment. So mainly the target or the objective of this dataset is to perform clustering to summarize customer segments. But in our case, we are going to use Tableau in order to analyze our dataset and to create our dashboard. So for the content, as we have said, it is based on what you call in marketing the 4 P's, so which are people, products, promotion, and place. Here we have the different columns. So we have the ID, which is customer's unique identifier, year of birth, we have the education, which is customer's education level. Then we have the marital status, the income, so customer's yearly household income. Then we have number of children at home. Same thing, we have number of teenagers. Then we have DT customer, which is date of customer's enrollment with the company. We have recency and we have complaint. So 1 if the customer complained in the last 2 years, 0 otherwise. Next, for products, we have 6 different columns. So we have the amount spent on wine in the last 2 years. Same thing on fruits, meat, fish, sweets, and gold, right? So everything is based on the last 2 years. So for promotion, we have the first one, which is number of purchases made with a discount. Then we have 6 different campaigns. And the type of data is Boolean. So 1 if the customer accepted the offer in the first campaign, 0 otherwise. And for the response, same thing. It is the last campaign, and 1 if the customer accepted the offer, 0 otherwise. Next, for the place, we have 4 different columns. So we have number of purchases made through the company's website, then using a catalog, directly in stores, and the last one is number of visits to company's website in the last month. As I said, the target is to perform clustering, but we are going to use it in order to create our dashboard. So now let's import our file in Tableau and start creating our dashboard. Once we have imported our file, which is marketing campaign, we can see that we have 29 columns or 29 fields and 2240 rows. So here we have all the different columns that we have just seen, right? Now we are going to create our first worksheet. So we click on sheet 1 and we name it place with marital status, right? Okay. So drag and drop measure names into the filters. We select none and we are going to create a horizontal bar chart for the different places. So we have number of catalog purchases, number of store purchases, and number of web purchases. We select apply. Okay. We press Ctrl key and we drag and drop measure names into the rows. Same thing, we drag and drop measure values into the columns. We can sort that. We select entire view and we drag and drop marital status into the color. We can change the color, so we click on color, edit color, and we are going to select jewel bright, assign, apply, OK. Same thing, we press Ctrl key and we drag and drop measure values into the label, and like that we get our horizontal stacked bar chart for different places and marital status. Now we are going to format our worksheet, because we are going to duplicate that several times and we are not going to format that every time. So we start from workbook, you click on format, workbook, and we define here our fonts. So for the worksheets we define bold black 8. For the titles we define bold black 11. We click on more, so we remove all the grid lines, we select off. Same thing for zero lines, we select off. For the axis rulers we select black, and same thing for axis text we select black. So like that, when we create new worksheet, these different options will be applied automatically. Same thing, we are going to format our worksheet. As we have said, we are going to duplicate that several times. So we double click on the axis, we remove the title, we click on color and we define the border as black. Same thing, we right click, format. For the header we select the alignment in the center, we add our borders, so we put everything in black. Same thing for row divider and column divider, right? We double click on our title, we put it in the center, apply OK. We right click on the title, format title, border in black and the shading in white. We add our highlighter. To do that we click on analysis, highlighters, and we add marital status. So click on the down icon in here, edit title, and we remove highlight. Okay. So like that we get our worksheet formatted, and we are going just to duplicate that. We remove different fields and we create all the other worksheets. Next we are going to create another stacked bar chart for number of customers enrollment per month. So duplicate this worksheet and we name it number of customers enrollment per month. Okay, so we remove everything. So drag and drop date customer into the column and we select month. We right click hide field. We drag and drop the ID into the rows and we select count. We click on automatic and we select bar, and we drag and drop the marital status into the color. We double click on this axis, we remove the title, we press Ctrl key and we drag the count into the label. We right click on the axis, format, and for the dates we select abbreviation. So like that we get our bar chart for number of customers enrollment per month and marital status. Same thing, we are going to create another stacked bar chart for number web visits per month and marital status. So we duplicate this one. Right, number web visits per month, marital status. Okay, so we remove the month from the columns and we drag and drop number web visits month into the columns, and we get our stacked bar chart. So here we have number web visits per month and marital status in the colors. Same thing, we create another horizontal bar chart for the products and marital status. So same thing, right click, duplicate, we name it products marital status. So same thing, we remove the number of visits per month from the columns. We drag and drop measure names into the filters. We select none, and here we select our products. So we have the amount fish products, fruits, gold products, meat, and sweet, with also the wine. So we have 6. Apply OK. So we remove the count. Same thing in here, we remove the count. We press Ctrl key and we drag and drop measure names into the rows and measure values into the columns. We can sort that. We press Ctrl key and we drag and drop measure values into the label. We double click on the axis and we remove value. And like that, we get our horizontal stacked bar chart for different products and marital status. Next, we are going to create our donut charts. So duplicate this to have the same formatting, right? The first one, we call it complaints. Okay. So we remove everything. We create the calculated field. We name it total customers. So we are going to use LOD, what we call level of detail, and we are going to use fixed count ID. So what this means is that we are going to display the total customers, whatever we put, for example, in the filters. As you will see, if we use only count ID and we change our filters, so the value will change. But when we define fixed count ID, even though we use filters, the value stays the same. So write apply OK. We create another calculated field, we call it label. And it will be string, you write total of. Apply OK. So we are going to convert complaint into a dimension. You click on complaint, aliases. So as we have said, if it is 0, it means no. If it is 1, it means yes. OK. We drag and drop complaint into the color. Instead of bar, we select pie. We drag and drop the ID into the angle. And we select count. Same thing, we press Ctrl key, we drag and drop complaint into text. And the count into label. Same thing. We click on count, quick table calculation, and we select percent of total. Now we edit our colors. So if it is yes, we put it in red. If it is no, we put it in green. Apply, OK. So we double click on the rows, we write 0, OK. Press Ctrl key and we duplicate. We go to the second one, we remove everything. We click on color and we put it in white. We go to the first one, we increase the size. We click on the second sum and we select dual axis. So like that we get our donut chart. We can right click on this axis, we remove the header. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to duplicate this 7 times in order to create the remaining donut charts. But first let's convert our measures into dimensions. So this one, convert to dimension. Same thing, convert to dimension. Convert to dimension. Fourth one. The fifth. And the last one, which is response. Let me just add a T in here. Now, when we add total of, as we have said, we have created total customers. We'll get the total customers even though if we change the filters. But in the next donut charts, as you will see, when we change the filters, the count ID will change. So here we drag and drop the label that we have created into the label of the inner circle. And same thing, total customers into the label. So we are going to put it like that in the center. And now we are going to duplicate our sheet. So right click, duplicate. We call it first campaign, right? and yes. So we select only yes. So drag and drop accepted campaign 1 into the filters. We select 1, apply, okay. So we remove sum of total customers and we drag and drop the ID into the label. We select count. As you can see here, we have the value changed because we have selected our filter. Now what we are going to do is that we remove campaign from the color, campaign from text, and we drag and drop meta status into the color. We press Ctrl key and we drag and drop marital status into the label, and we put the count after the marital status. So like that, to get our donut chart for the first campaign for people who said yes. All right, and we are going to do the same thing for the remaining campaigns. So duplicate this one, we rename it. Instead of first, we'll have second. Okay, so remove our filter and we add the second one, apply, okay. We do the same thing for the third, so duplicate, we remove our filter, we add the third one, apply, okay. As you see, the total is changing because we have not used fixed, right? We duplicate, so we have the fourth campaign, right? We remove the third and we add the fourth, apply, okay. Duplicate, so here we have the fifth, we remove this one and we add the fifth one, apply, okay. And the last one, duplicate, so we call it last, which is response. So we drag and drop response, so we remove the first one and we drag and drop response, we put it 1, apply, okay. So like that we have created the donut charts for the campaigns. Now we create our last donut chart, which is for purchases with discount. So we duplicate, right, purchase with discount, right, okay. So we remove the filter, we remove the count, same thing here, and we drag and drop number of deals purchases into the angle. We press Ctrl key and we add it to the label. We click on it, quick table calculation percent of total, and same thing, we remove count ID from the second one and we drag and drop number deals purchases into the label. So we have total of 5,208. So like that we have created all the donut charts. Next we are going to create 2 horizontal bar charts. One for the average income by marital status and the second one the average income by education. So duplicate this worksheet and we write average income and first one is marital status. Okay, so we remove everything. Remove, same thing, we remove. We drag and drop marital status into the rows, income into the column, and we select the average. We click on by, we select bar. We can sort that. We press Ctrl key and we drag and drop the average into the label. Right click, hide field label for rows. Double click on the axis, we remove the title. We can decrease the size. So we click on the label format and on numbers we select currency custom. Okay. We click on color and we select this color. So here we have average income by marital status. We'll duplicate this one, and we will have the average income by education. Okay, so we remove marital status from the rows, and we add education into the rows. Same thing, we can decrease this size a little bit, and we change its color into green. We can sort that, and we get our final horizontal bar chart. Next, we are going to create two histograms, one for people and age with marital status, and the second one is also for people and age with education. So we duplicate this one, we name it people by age and marital status, right? So we remove everything. We create a calculated field, we name it age, and it will be 2023 minus year of birth. Apply, okay. So we double click on age, we click on show me, and we select histogram. As you can see here, automatically the bins are created. We click on age bin, edit, and the size it will be 5. Okay. Now we are going to edit our axis. So remove bin, and as you can see here, we have only two values for 120 and the other one 130. So we can define fixed axis. Let's say it starts from 20 and it ends at 90. Okay, so we double click on this axis, we remove the title. Okay, and we drag and drop marital status into the colors. So here we have marital status into color. So like that, we have our first histogram for people by age and marital status. We can duplicate this. We'll have people by age and education. Okay, so we remove marital status from the color and we add education. We can change its color, so edit colors, and we put winter. Assign, apply, okay. Same thing, we are going to add a highlighter that depends on education. We click on the highlighter, edit title, and we remove highlights. Okay, so like that we have our histograms. Next, we are going to create two density charts. The first one is the number of kids at home and the marital status, and the second one, number of teenagers at home and the marital status. So duplicate this one. We name it kids at home and marital status. Okay, so we remove the count of age, we remove education, we drag and drop marital status into the rows. We select the entire view. We click on automatic and we select density, and we drag and drop kid home into the color. So we increase its size and we change its color into, let's say, density multicolor light. Okay, we can increase its intensity into 70%, and like that we get our first density chart. We can duplicate this one and we will have teenagers at home, right? Okay, so we remove the sum of the kids and we replace it by teen home. Okay, so like that we get our second density chart. Now like that we have created all the worksheets. Let's create our dashboard. Let me just change the title in here. So status, same thing in here. So we are going to remove the legends from the different charts. So keep this one, and the remaining we are going to remove that. Hide. Same thing in here, we hide. This one also. Same thing for this one. Average income, average income. This one also. For education we keep it, and like that we click on new dashboard. We define our size, so 1850 and 1050. Okay, we click on dashboard format, define it as yellow with intensity of 50%. Okay, and now we drag and drop our sheets. So we start from the place, then we have the number, right? After that we have the products, and here we have web visits, right? Next we will have the donut charts, right? So one first, wait a second, third, so I have here fourth, fifth, last, and purchases, right? Okay, so for the highlighter, so for the legend I will put it in floating, and the highlighter I put it here on the top. All right, for the status I put it inside here, and for the remaining I put them like that. Same thing for this, and also for this one. Then we are going to add the average income in here. Same thing for this one. Then we have the histograms, and we have the density charts. Okay, so like that we have added all the worksheets. Now I'm going to adjust the sizes, right? This one, same thing, we put it as floating, put it inside this histogram. Okay, so the highlighter, put it like that. This one in the center. Okay, this. All right, so here this one I will put it like that. Same thing for this one, like this. Okay, this one like this in here. Same thing for this one, and also this one I put it in the center like that. I want to decrease this one, and same thing in here. Okay, so just move this one in the center. All right, so for this one I will remove the title, put it inside, format, so the border it will be in black. Okay, same thing for this one, I remove the title, put it in the center, format, and the border same thing in black. Okay, so like that we have all our charts. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to add the padding and also the borders. Okay, so you select, for example, the first one, layout, and the padding we put it as 6. Same thing, we add border. For the highlighter we put the same thing, border, and padding we put it also as 6. And we are going to do that for all the charts, right? 6 and border in black. Same thing for this one, and the border, the padding, it will be 6. So I'm going just to format the highlighters, so the alignment in the center and the border in black. Same thing for this one, so it will be in the center and the border in black. Okay, now we continue with the borders and the padding. Same thing, 6 for this one, border 6, border and 6. So continue with all the charts. We add also for the donut charts, same thing. So we have border and also padding, right? Padding 6. Have the padding, right? Black 6. And the last one, border and padding, we have 6. Okay. Now if we select presentation view, we get our final dashboard. So if we use highlighter, we get the different values. And same thing for education. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope that you have learned new things. Thanks for watching and see you in next tutorial.